Hey, it is August 22nd, working on the final mix and master for Apophenia. I've been working with Erik Peabody over at Viking Guitar. We have a pretty good relationship. He's worked on all my stuff. Very nice guy. He does mix and master, and he's also a sick guitar player in his Viking guitar metal experience. So check that out. So we're at the phase going back and forth, just kind of comparing notes and changing what we hear, what we think about things, where things should go, and me sometimes like not having any idea, thinking I know more than I should. But it's working out great. We're at the tail end, and hopefully you'll get this out to you guys soon. That is the plan. Hey, for this next part, Erik from Viking Guitar has graciously made an awesome in-depth video of his mixing process. So here you go. And thanks, Erik, for doing that. It is much appreciated. Go check his stuff out.
Hi, I'm Erik Peabody, and I run Viking Guitar Productions, an independent audio production company based out of Rochester, New York, and I have been lucky enough to work with Emilio on the last few Fuzznaut projects. I handled mixing and mastering on the last few Fuzznaut releases, including Form is Emptiness, Haunting Mantra, and Apophenia. Now, I work with a lot of heavy music and a lot of heavy artists. Thrash metal and death metal is my bread and butter. But I love working with Emilio on the Fuzznaut stuff because it's such a different animal. We have a pared down instrument set. We only have guitars usually, sometimes some synths in there, and it's just a different vibe. It's always interesting, though. So I want to take you over and show you just a little bit of what I actually do within the software. What we are looking at here is the mixing session for one of the songs off Apophenia. This is the title track, actually, Apophenia. And this is a program called Reaper. Reaper is a digital audio workstation, kind of like how Pro Tools is, or Logic, or Ableton, or any of those. And if you're not familiar with how these work, it basically layers different audio files and lets you manipulate them individually so that you can achieve a desired result. I use this program for everything from mixing and mastering to my own composing to voice recording, everything. Now, this session here, as we go from left to right, we can see it starts out with just a couple of sounds and then adds more and kind of switches between these different sections. I want to show you a little bit about what my work contributes to this. So we're going to start by minimizing all that, and we're going to listen to a segment of the song right here with the raw audio files. Now, this isn't anything I've processed. This is exactly what Emilio sent me, and this is how it sounds. And now we're going to listen to the same part, but after I've done all my stuff to it. And switching back. And back. So to get a little bit more detailed about what happens here, my process, to give a simplified version, basically takes all of these files, layers them, makes sure the timing is correct. I adjust all of the individual volume levels so that they are relatively as loud as they need to be in relation to each other. I adjust the panning, which is the left to right stereo spread for each track. And then I do a bunch of individual processing to those tracks for a variety of reasons. And we are going to focus on a little bit right here, just these few guitar sounds. So listening to this segment, just these tracks. Let's take a look at just this one right here. So what I've done is just done a little bit of equalization to it. This is limiting certain parts of the frequency response, augmenting other parts, and kind of dipping other things. And I did that with both guitar tracks and then run them through this folder track. If you're familiar with audio terms, this is also called a bus. And then you can do further processing, like compress them, which is allowing the volume to react in a more restricted fashion instead of jumping all over the place. And just to give you an example of what it sounds like before and after, this is that bus with those two guitar tracks with no processing. And the same segment after everything has been done to it. So in this specific instance, we cut out a little bit of muddy low frequencies that were cluttering things up, especially in the context of the whole mix together. We augmented some of the higher frequencies to make it stand out a bit more. We did some panning, so instead of everything right down the middle, we have a nice stereo spread. And we did a little bit of compression combined to both of these, so as the volume swells up and down, it kind of restrains that a little bit and keeps it more in a standardized area. That is a streamlined example of what goes into the mixing process, but I hope you found it interesting and informative, and I hope you enjoy the new Fuzznaut album, Apophenia. Stay metal.